Hello everyone. I had no intention of showing you a SEBO balance on my channel. I wasn't going to buy one. I thought they were rather expensive for a Chinese made vacuum cleaner, and I wasn't really keen on the direction SEBO are going with this particular model, but they've got to keep up with other manufacturers. I do like SEBO cleaners. I've shown many on my channel, but I like the mains powered German manufactured SEBOs, not the SEBO cleaners made by a Chinese company. So yeah, I wasn't going to get one, especially at £339, which is what you'd spend if you bought one of these direct from SEBO. The only reason I decided to go for this mid-range model is the offer I saw on eBay. Now I saw this, an eBay seller, a Euronics dealer, was selling this on eBay for £335. Yes, not much of a saving, but eBay had a special promotion with 20% off selected sellers. So I got 20% off that price, which brought this down to £268, which is still a lot of money, but a bit more reasonable. So I thought I would take the plunge. So in this video, I'm going to open it up. We'll take a look at all the components. I'll tell you the differences between the models, and I'll do a bit of a demo. So without any further ado, let's open it up and take a look at what we get. At the time of filming this video, the only other videos I've seen on YouTube of the SEBO balance are either from SEBO themselves, retailers that sell this model, or people that have received a model free of charge. I've yet to see an independent review of somebody who's actually paid for one, so mine might be the first. The base model is the magenta colour for $299, and that comes with a LED crevice nozzle and a 2-in-1 dusting and upholstery nozzle. For $399, the blue model, which is the model I'm going to show you, has those attachments plus the MicroCare hard floor brush roller, a hose and a mini power brush, and the top model in grey at $379 also includes a surface dusting brush and a charging stand. On the lid of the box we've got a quick start guide, and inside the box we've got the cleaner and all the other components. We do get a full instruction book. So let's try and do this quickly because there's a lot to unwrap. We've got a metal wand in a grey colour. We've got the flexible hose, which is a very good idea. I like a flexible hose with cordless handheld machines. It does give them more flexibility to reach in tighter spaces, especially if you're using the machine for cleaning out the car. And that does stretch. So that's included. Now, at the time of making this video, there are no optional accessories available on SEBO's website. So for example, if you buy the magenta model and decide you want the hose at a later date, you should be able to buy it, but at the time of making the video there is nothing. There's no spare filters, no spare battery and no additional tools, but I believe they will be available at some point. So you can always upgrade the model you've chosen. In fact, I might want to upgrade this to incorporate the surface dusting brush and the charging stand, depending how much I decide to use this. Here's the lighted crevice tool with an LED light. I'll show you that in action. Very similar to Dyson's light pipe crevice tool. Here we have, and another good thing, we do get a spare washable filter. That's rinsable in water. Here is your charging brick with SEBO Balance A1 written on it. I quite like the fact that some manufacturers write on what the charger's for, because a lot of us have drawers full of chargers and we don't know what they belong to, and we'll end up getting rid of them and realise we've disposed of one that we need. But because that says SEBO Balance A1, I'll know if that gets misplaced. I'll know it's for this model. Then we have this adapter piece, which has to be used. That fits to the body of the machine, so the wand and the tools attached to that. Then we've got a wall-mounted storage and charging bracket. Then we've got the main power brush, incorporating the dual purpose roller, so it's got soft and stiffer brushes. We'll be looking at all this in more detail. Here's the battery, and the cleaner needs to be fully charged before first use. Then we have the MicroCare hard floor roller that you can replace the normal brush roll that comes fitted if you've got more hard floors to clean. Oh, it's got quite a stiff, it's a combination of sort of a soft roller, but these grey parts are a stiffer brush. Now that's designed for hard floors more than carpets. So if your home is mainly hard floors, then it might be a good idea to fit this to the nozzle and use that most of the time. But if you've got mainly carpets, you'll want to use the brush roll that's actually fitted to the power brush. Then we've got the miniature or motorized small tool, which can be fitted directly to the cleaner or onto the end of the wand. So that's for your upholstered furniture, car seats, pet bedding, etc. And almost the cleaner itself, we'll leave that to the end. Here's the much copied Dyson-esque 2-in-1 dusting and upholstery nozzle. So brush out for dusting and push it in for cleaning your soft furnishings, curtains and upholstery. And then finally the cleaner itself. It is very small and very light. Obviously you've got to slide the battery on, which will add a bit of weight. But that's the first thing I noticed when I picked this out of the box. I thought, it is small, it is light. So that's a plus for someone who doesn't want a heavy vacuum. They want something that's light to hold in the hand and also light to use when you're directing it upwards to reach up high for the cobwebs and for high level dusting. You may be keen to use your SEBO balance as soon as you take it out of the box, and there will be some charge in the battery, but it's very important you fully charge it before first use. You can either charge it attached to the cleaner or separately. As I've said, I've pre-charged the battery before making the video. I put it on charge yesterday when I received it. So to charge it out of the machine, of course we need the charger. So I'll just take the cable tie off and plug it in to the wall socket. So if you don't want your machine on the wall, you don't have to put it on the wall. If you live in rented accommodation or you just don't want a vacuum cleaner on the wall, you can just put it away in a cupboard or a large drawer and just charge the battery on your work surface. So we'll pull out the cable. It's a reasonable length, it's about 1 meter in length, I'd say, the mains cable. Let's plug it in behind me and plug it in. Here's the charging port on the back. During the charging process, the blue LED light will flash. When the battery is fully charged, the light turns off. To fit the battery to the SEBO balance, line up the unlocked padlock symbol with the arrow on the base of the handle and slide forward until it locks. You can now attach the mains adapter to charge the battery while it's fitted to the cleaner. The display on the back of the SEBO balance will show the charging status and the percentage of charge in the battery. When it's fully charged, it will show 100% and the indicator will be green. When that happens, you need to unplug the charger. The instruction book warns that the lifetime of the battery may be severely reduced if you leave it plugged in with the battery fully charged. When you first switch on, the cleaner will default at power level 1. To increase it, press the right hand button to select setting 2 or setting 3. To decrease the power, press the left button. The third charging option is the wall mounted stand. So when it's fixed securely to the wall at the correct height, you can plug the charger in to the bottom here. And then when you slide the SEBO balance onto the charger, which is a bit stiff, right, okay, might loosen up in use. So just imagine that it's on the wall, it will start to charge, and obviously the display will show the state of charge as it would if the machine is just on a worktop. But of course bear in mind that when it's charged, when the display goes out, unplug it. Now it's a little bit surprising that this cleaner has to be unplugged when it's fully charged. I did read one review, they returned the cleaner I think because of this. A lot of cordless vacuum cleaners, I would say the majority, especially at this price point, would have a circuitry inside that would switch off the charger or at least stop it from charging the battery when it's charged up, because a lot of cleaners you just pop back onto the wall mounted bracket, and they'll charge up and then will stay plugged in, and then you just take the machine off to use it and then pop it back when you're finished and it'll charge up automatically. But with the SEBO, you've either got to unplug or just switch it off, or unplug the charger at the socket, or if the socket has a switch on it, just switch it off at the socket and you can leave it plugged in to the charging stand if you're using it like this. Now that will apply if you have the top model that has this part, but this is on a pole and a stand, so it's freestanding, so you don't have to screw it to the wall. But you still have to either unplug the battery or switch it off at the main socket. Okay, let's take a closer look at the SEBO Balance itself. We've already seen the display and the power level buttons. To switch the cleaner on, there's a trigger here on the handle. You don't have to keep your finger on the trigger like you have to do with some other machines. Once you've squeezed it, it will remain on. And then squeeze it again to switch the cleaner off. It is a small machine. It's small and light. It's probably one of the lighter cordless machines I've looked at, which means also, because it's small, it has quite a small bin capacity. I'll put all the capacities, the charging times, all the specifications below this video, and you can also go to SEBO's website to look at the online instruction book and view the brochure if you want more details that I'm not going to provide. But hopefully you'll find out everything you need to know in this video. But if there's anything you need to ask, please comment below. So small capacity, the max fill line is there, so it's best to empty after each use, unless you've just used it very briefly to pick up some breakfast crumbs. You might find after each room clean, or certainly after you've cleaned a whole floor of your home, you will have to empty the bin. Observe the max fill line here, try not to go over it. When it reaches near the max fill line and you have to empty it, I would say take it outside preferably, and just under here is a little lever, so hold it over your bin and you squeeze the lever and the flap springs open and you can just shake the machine to empty out the dirt. If any hairs get trapped around this shroud, you will have to pull this out for a more thorough clean. But some dirt, you know, if you don't have pets and you don't have a lot of fibrous dirt, you know, crumbs and bits and pieces that you pick up off your carpet should hopefully fall out with maybe a little shake. When it's empty, close the flap and then you can continue with your cleaning. To give you a more thorough clean, so for example, if hairs have wrapped around the shroud, using the same lever, you pull it once to open and then you pull it again like so, and the bin comes free. You could rinse that under running water if you want to from time to time, but make sure it's dry before you're putting it back into the cleaner. So we'll look at the filters. I can show you one of the filters. I can't show you the other one, and I'll explain why I can't show it at the moment. But here's the central shroud. This is quite a delicate piece, so you could lightly brush that with a soft brush or a damp cloth, but again, make sure it's dry before you use the cleaner again. To remove this cyclone unit, there's another arrow just here at the top and a locked and unlocked padlock symbol. So you just turn it, grab it by the lower part, turn it to remove. You cannot wash this, folks. It does have the mini cyclones, as you can see, it is multi-cyclonic, but it also carries electrical conductors. So do not submerge this in water, do not run water through it. You can either use another vacuum cleaner to help clean out the cyclones, a pipe cleaner, or if you've got an air duster, you could use that outside to blow out any dust from time to time that might have stuck to the inside of the cyclones. So that's that. Now there is a further filter. Well, actually I haven't shown you the first filter yet, have I? So the first filter is in here, and this is washable, just pulls out. And this is one that you get the spare for, which is another plus point. SEBO say just rinse this under running water and let it dry. So I would say 24 hours minimum. But because you've got a spare, what you can do, take this out, wash it, fit the spare, and then you can just swap them over. So you're not going to be waiting for the machine. You're not going to be waiting 24 hours before you can use it again. So that is a good thing to have, a spare filter. So as I said, that's washable. Now, the final filter, which is located behind this transparent blue piece, is removable. It's not washable. It might, well, it depends. SEBO, it's a bit confusing. I think I've read that it's supposed to last the lifetime of the machine, although it might need replacing before the machine conks out. It depends how long the machine lasts. I can't do it. I've struggled off camera to take this filter out. There is this pleated filter, and you're supposed to pull it out. You see this? There's a rubber seal and this plastic piece. I'll give it another go. It might. I don't want to force it. Now, it does tell you in the instruction books that when it's new, it will be difficult to remove. So I'm not going to attempt that, but you shouldn't have to touch that filter for quite some time. But as I said, if it needs cleaning, you could brush it gently or tap it, but you're not supposed to wash that. Replacements will hopefully be available on SEBO's website soon. So that is the only filter that's washable, and that fits back in. It only goes in one way. There's a little notch there. And then we can pop the cyclone unit back. Again, you need to line up the arrow, if I can find it. Yep. Line up the silver arrow, turn it to the locked padlock, like so. Again, grasping the lower part, don't grasp it by the more delicate silver mesh. And then we can pop the bin back, and that will slide on. Don't force it. If it doesn't go, you haven't got it on right. It should go on now. You need to push it until it clicks, like so. Then we can close the flap. Yep. So that's the filters. So what we first need to do before use is connect this adapter. And that just fits on to the end of the machine. And again, push it until it clicks into position. So now we can attach any of the tools directly to the machine, whether it be the LED crevice tool or the combination nozzle. Again, make sure it clicks into position. But of course you can connect the mini motorized tool, or for cleaning stairs you can connect the main motorized tool directly to the cleaner. And of course, all the tools will fit onto the end of the wand as well. So, well, let's fit the wand actually. It'll only go in one way. And again, make sure it clicks into position. And then whatever nozzle you want to put on it, whether it's a small motorized tool, if you're cleaning in a tight area on your carpeted floors, you can put that on. But for normal floor and carpet cleaning, you would fit the full-sized brush nozzle. Okie dokie. Right, of course we've got the hose as well. I'm just wondering, I don't know why we'd want to do this, but yeah, you can fit the hose to the end of the wand, but I think that's best fitted directly to the cleaner, like so. And you can fit, or can you? Hang on. Yes. You can fit the mini motorized tool to the hose, but it's not going to be motorized because there's no connectors inside the stretch hose. So it's pretty useless really. You could put it on, but you'll just get suction only. The brush won't rotate. But you can of course fit the LED tool. But again, because this has LED lights in it, you won't get the LED lights coming on when attached to the hose. It'll only work when attached directly to the cleaner or onto the end of the wand. And again, you can fit the nozzle here. And because you don't have to keep your finger on the trigger, so for example, if you're cleaning inside the car, you can just switch the SEBO balance on. Whoops. And then use it. Try not to let it fall down. Well, it might be best if you lay it on its side actually when you're using it in a tight space. So yeah, there we have it. I've still got to do a quick demo. I will be featuring this cleaner a bit more. I'm going to use it for a longer period. This is just really a first look video. Let's have a look at this head. Quality wise, it's not up to SEBO's standards. If you're used to German made SEBO, you might be disappointed by the feel of this. For what you're paying, over £300, I reckon for probably a third of that, you could get a lesser known brand from Amazon that would possibly perform as well or even better. I haven't tried all these machines, I don't know, but I've tried a lot of cordless machines, some cheap, some very expensive. And this, at first impressions, doesn't feel like a 330 odd pound vacuum cleaner. But anyway, especially this head. So we've got a flexible hose, a clear hose, so you can check for blockages. But in my experience, this sort of hose can split. A lot of manufacturers have replaced these clear hoses with, you know, solid black ones, which seem more secure. But, you know, it does have a 2-year, I think it's a 2-year guarantee you get with this. Register it at SEBO. 2 wheels with a rubber tyre on them. 2 little wheels at the front as well. So you can remove this head, and you will need to remove it, this brush head, if you want to replace it with the roller for hard floors. There is, again, a locked and unlocked padlock. So you turn it to the unlocked padlock. That end cap comes off. Yeah. That doesn't feel like the end cap on a SEBO Power Head or a SEBO Upright. Much cheaper plastic. It's made in China. So, yeah. Here's the nozzle for your general carpet and floor cleaning. So in my home, because I've more carpet than hard floors, I will use this. If I was to take this to use in my caravan, we don't have any carpets down in my caravan at the moment, this would be the roller I would fit. Let's see how we fit it into this machine. There'll only be one way to do it. There we go. So you need to insert the soft roller. So yes, unlike some Dysons that come with like the fluffy head as well as the normal carpet and floor head, with a SEBO you need to change the roller over. But I don't think, as I said, if you've got mainly hard floors, keep the roller in, the soft roller in. Mainly carpets, keep the brush roller in. And you might have to change it from time to time. Now I did have trouble with this off camera because I did fiddle with this before filming this, just to see if I could iron out any niggles. Yeah, it's a bit tricky to get the end cap back on initially. So now we have the soft roller. Just pop it back on the cleaner. So as I said, that's really dedicated to hard floors, although this roller does have the soft brushes as well as the stiffer brushes, so you can clean hard floors with this. And in a future demo I'll compare the soft roller with this roller on my kitchen floor. But for now I want to put the other roller back in so I can have a quick go on my carpet. And again, of course, when the roller is out, you've got better access if you need to clear a blockage or you just want to wipe this out with a damp cloth. Again, any maintenance you do, if you wipe the machine out, it's got to be dry. If you do any maintenance on the cleaner itself, it's best to remove the battery. So there we go, that's back there. Pop the end cap back on. And as I said, going forward, I'm hoping that SEBO will have spares and additional accessories available to buy from their website. Yeah, this is a bit awkward. You've got to line it up a certain way. There is one of these QR codes that you can scan with your phone if you want to see a video about this, if you're having trouble. There we go. It's just, there is a knack to getting that back on. I'm sure I'll get used to it. Pop that on. So we'll give this a go on my carpet. I'll start off, of course, on the default low power. Just give it a push, and then I'll increase the power to the medium and maximum modes. Okie dokie, here goes. Very easy to push on low power. Let's increase it. Just as easy on medium. Let's boost it to maximum. That's no problem on this particular carpet. Regular viewers will know I used to have a plush pile Saxony, which may have cut out, this cleaner might have cut out on that particular carpet on maximum. But on all 3 settings, it's fine. For a quick whip round, I think minimum on a low pile carpet would be okay. For a bit more of a thorough clean, I'd switch to the medium setting. You shouldn't really need to use the boost setting very often unless you come across a very heavily soiled area of carpeting where you've got stubborn pet hair to remove. I think sort of medium will be fine, but try it if you do decide to buy one. Try it on the default minimum. You will get the longest runtime, and of course it is quieter on the medium setting. And you might find, for the purpose SEBO intend this for the quick cleanups, for the quick whipping round, it might be fine on minimum power. As I said, SEBO are not selling this cleaner. They're not marketing the Balance as a replacement for your mains powered vacuum. They're not pretending that this will replace a decent mains powered machine, but they are suggesting this is an ideal cleaner to grab, whip round your house, just clean one room, clean up after breakfast, just vacuum your bedroom after you've made your bed, or when you're changing your bedding, pop on the motorised mini tool and vacuum your mattress before you put your new sheets on. It's a grab and go machine. So that's what I think most cordless machines are. They are not, in my opinion and experience, a replacement for a mains powered cleaner. Unless you live in a specific type of house, a small home with very little carpeting, you might get away with it. But wall-to-wall carpeting, a family home, 3-bedroom semi, I think they're a great addition, but not a replacement. So if you like your SEBOs and you've got a SEBO upright, if you've got a Felix or an X7 or one of the cylinder models, this you might think is a nice thing to accompany it. So it's early days. I'll put a bit of dirt down just to finish the video, but I will do a separate demonstration video of this, so please comment below if there's anything in particular you want to see with this. I will try it on pet hair. I'll groom Daisy and get some hair off her. I'll try it on larger and smaller particles. I'll try it on carpets and hard floors, and I'll try out the mini turbo nozzle and the other tools, but I'll need to use it a bit more. So yeah, it's not bad, but I do think it's a tad overpriced. Anyway, I'll just throw down a bit of dirt and we'll see how well it picks it up. Okie dokie, I've put down some rolled oats, red lentils, some bird seed and a little bit of soap powder just to try out the SEBO Balance for the first time. I'm going to initially do it on the low power setting, but I think for a deeper clean, to get everything up, I think I'll have to boost it to at least the medium setting, but we'll try it on the low power setting first. I have to be honest, folks, when I first heard that SEBO were going to market a bagless, cordless cleaner made in China, I wasn't too happy about it. I was a bit afraid that it could damage SEBO's reputation for build quality and reliability. I do like SEBO. I've plugged SEBO cleaners for most of the life of my channel. Over 10 years, I've been recommending SEBO vacuums. I like SEBO vacuums, despite the fact I've never received a free vacuum from SEBO, although when I did meet some people from SEBO recently last year, I did say, well, I wouldn't be averse to receiving a SEBO product, considering I've bought loads myself and I already like the brand. It's not like I'm accepting a no-name Chinese brand just for the sake of showing it on my channel, because I won't do that. If I get a freebie, which is not very often these days, it would have to be from a brand at least I've heard of, or a brand that I've bought myself and actually like. And SEBO, yes, for a modern brand, I do like SEBO the best. Better than Miele, definitely. But yeah, I was expecting to really slate this vacuum cleaner. I thought SEBO are never going to want to talk to me again, because I'm going to be absolutely rubbishing this. There are a few quirks I've got with it I'm not too happy about, especially the fact you have to unplug the battery when it's fully charged. But I suppose I might be able to live with that, because this has picked everything up on low power. All the dirt I put down is now in the bin. It is light, it's easy to use, but of course I need to use it a lot more than during this video. So I will do another video, as I said, showing this machine in use and telling you what I think about it. So that's quite good. Yes, I've just instinctively done that. I've just removed the adapter piece with the wand, and that's what you do. If I just want to empty this now, that's what I would have done. And then of course I would have taken this out to my bin and released the dirt. And that's what happens when you pull. I'll leave that in because I'm only human. I pulled the trigger I pulled it too far, folks. If you pull the trigger too far, the whole bin comes off. So be wary of that. We'll try that again. Take two. I'll suck all this up and we'll try that again. Yeah, you've just got to be careful. Just make sure that's in. Click. Yeah, so just beware that you only need one small pull. That's it. I went too far, as I always do, and pulled it too far, so the bin has dropped. We'll spread this out again. Actually, while we're about it, we'll just have a go with the mini motorized tool. Again, I'm going to try it on minimum first. Well, it's picked everything up again on minimum power. So this time I'll try and empty it without releasing the bin. So one little pull of the trigger, there we go. And yeah, even though I haven't put any down, we've got some fluff there, a little bit of fluff. So it's dealt with all the particles, you know, the large particles as well as the fine particles, the soap powder. It's picked everything up. So, yeah, I'm not faking anything, folks. I was really expecting to do a real hatchet job on this machine. I wasn't keen on it, but then don't judge anything until you've used it, folks. Don't judge a person until you know them. Don't judge a product until you've actually used it in your own home. I know it's early days, but I quite like it. I think it's a bit on the pricey side, to be honest. But this is SEBO's first cordless, bagless vacuum. Is it going to be their last, or are hopefully SEBO going to produce their own in-house? I'm hoping so. I was told that this is possibly an interim product and something will be coming later on. So I'm wondering if this is the interim cordless and SEBO are working on something that they've maybe produced and manufactured themselves. Who knows? But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So there you go, that's the end of my unboxing, first look and brief demonstration of SEBO's first cordless, bagless stick vacuum cleaner. And on balance, I really quite like it. I'm so surprised that I like this machine. When I first got it yesterday and started having a look at the components and, you know, taking things apart and seeing how it works, I thought, I'm not going to like this. SEBO are not going to like me when I put this video out, because I'm going to absolutely slate this product, but I can't. I have bought it myself. As I said, it's not been supplied, although it would have been nice to get a sample from SEBO, but no, I didn't get one. Lots of people got the top model free, but not me. I had to pay for it. Despite the fact I had to pay for it, yes, I like it, and I'm glad I like it, because, you know, it cost me a lot of money, really. But I needed to show it. I've shown so many SEBO cleaners, I couldn't really ignore it, despite the fact I thought, no, I'm not going to like it. But I've only used minimums. In this demo, I've only used minimum so far. I've not had to boost the power to medium or maximum, and it's picked everything up. It might have been a different story on my old living room carpet. Might not have been so good on that, but on this velvet pile, it's brilliant, and it's a very pale colour. It shows all the bits. So in the demo, I'll be bringing down my SEBO demonstration matte, which is a darker grey, so it'll show all the bits even clearer. And I'll be doing demos on carpets. I'll be getting pet hair down, all sorts of demonstrations, and I'll get used to it a bit more. I'll avoid ejecting the bin next time I decide to empty it. Yeah. So, yeah, I like it. Oh, what can I say? I wish I didn't. I wish I could slate it, but I can't. I've got to be honest. I like it. So, comment below, what would you like to see in the full demonstration video? And is there anything I haven't covered? Any questions you've got about the machine, I'll try and answer them. So comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And then you'll see all my latest videos. There's more cordless machines to come. I've got vintage cleaners to show you. I've got more carpet washers, some spot washers, all sorts coming on my channel. So if you like your vacuum cleaners, stay tuned, because there's a lot more to come in 2025. So for me and the SEBO Balance A1, it's goodbye. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.